the month of July 2026. July, before you know it, July is going. Just do whatever it is you planned to do, your goals, your everything you plan to do this year, ensure that you get them going as soon as you can. This is the big question, and this is where we go beyond the headlines. We talk about societal issues, how different things happening around us affects our society, affect governance, accountability, and everyday Nigerian. My name is Fulua Kirami, and today we're going to be talking about something I consider very important, but from a societal standpoint. Today, on one of the major headlines, today inspired this conversations, and it's from the Punch newspaper. It says, fake agency scandal, Tinubu orders 30-day ICPC probe, Senate rejects blame. Now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu some days ago has ordered the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, that's the ICPC, to investigate a scandal, including a government body, a so-called government body, and they are known as the Presidential Foreign Interventions Promotion Council. Now, the president has given the anti-corruption agency 30 days to conclude this investigation and submit a report. I would have loved to give you a backstory to what that is, because some people now, this is the first time we are hearing about it. You don't even know what that is. You don't know what came about, how that even happened in the first place. Now, there's a man called Adeyemi Matthew. He allegedly presented himself as the Director General of this council. And, he issued a forged appointment letter and official looking documents. He presented fake letters, official looking documents, and he was claimed to have been appointed by the president himself. Now, the controversy became even bigger after reports emerged that the suspected agency, the supposed agency, has appeared in official government documents, in budgets. And we're wondering, if you say this is not even a real organization to start with, how are they appearing in government budgets? How are they appearing in government documents? How are they all over the place? And this poses a question to every single one of us listening right now, not even about that, but as a nation, when do we have systems to verify if something is true or not? That's a question I have on my mind. If something as huge as that has gone on, and they've even been collecting funds and everything, do we actually have systems in place to verify whether something is true or not? And even, it's easy to point accusing fingers at the government. You say the government this, the government that. Why didn't they check into it? Why didn't they do this? Why did they do that? Although the president has given an order to investigate into that and see, what happened in between. Meanwhile, the Senate have rejected allegations that they should be blamed for this incident. They insist that the lawmakers do not create agencies on their own. While they have their claims, I do not have their claims, that's okay. But my concern is, as a nation, do we have systems in place to verify things? This is not just about the government. This is about you as a person, listening right now. When was the last time you actually verified an information? You verified something before going ahead with it. You verified that's just the other side of the conversation. As a society, when was the last time we took our time to actually verify things, places, people, positions, all of these documents that fly around? How do we verify that these things are true or not? When was the last time you took your time to verify an information before you started to share it out? And I'll give you an example. Let's talk about WhatsApp messages. For example, you see a WhatsApp message saying, don't eat ginger, it will disturb your stomach. Don't eat watermelon, it will do this, it will do that. And then you take that information and you start to share it around. without verifying whether it is true, without checking whether it is valid, without checking whether it's real. You just keep sharing. So before we point our fingers at the government for not putting structures in place, which I think actually should not have happened in the first place, let's take it back to ourselves as individuals. When was the last time you verified an information, you verified a person before accepting their title, their positions without questioning? We just take things nowadays and we just believe it without questioning, without asking anything. This is the conversation this afternoon, and I want to hear your thoughts on this matter. While the presidency has, told them to go verify and all of that, and the ICPC are currently in charge of that, trying to ensure that it is brought to book and justice is served. I would like to hear from you. As a community, as a society, when was the last time you verified anything before sharing? And what's your take on this matter? The number to call me this afternoon is 07000 917 917 917. You can also call 09155 917 to join the conversation this afternoon. You, it's just funny because many times we will somebody introduce themselves and we don't even check, is this person even saying the truth? Many Nigerians, we are impressed by big offices, we are impressed by official looking documents, and it's just a sign that a lot of documents out there are forged. A lot of documents are forged, a lot of bank statements, this one, that one, they are not real. And this is a call for us to be very careful, to be conscious, to be mindful of the things that we take, right? Okay. Hello, good afternoon. Oh, I lost that call. Please do well to call me back. The number is still 07000 917 917 07000 917 917. So we are very impressed by big offices, official looking documents, someone who claims that they have powerful connections. One uncle will just come and tell you, I know somebody in this place and that place and that place. I know this person, this person, this person. We just believe that, my uncle, if he says so, then that it is, that is it. Rather, we never get to verify. We rarely stop to verify, to check, is this real, is this true, is this valid, is this legit? We just move on with it like that. So I want us to think about it. I want us to actually think about it. How many times have you heard someone introduce themselves with a big title, with a grand title, or maybe somebody even gave you a document, or maybe you even you saw an information on social media, online? When was the last time you took your time to verify whether it is true or not? That's what we're asking ourselves this afternoon. This is what we're asking ourselves this afternoon. It's not just about the government, it's about us as individuals. His father was also recently arrested, but his father has been released alongside his friend, which I also think they shouldn't have been arrested in the first place. Why should the father be facing the consequences for his son, or why should the father be taking punishment for what his son has done? Well, maybe the reason why they did that was because if we arrest your dad, at least you want to come bail your dad out, you would show up, you would come to the rescue. But his dad has been released, by the way. But for something like that to go for a long time, this agency be in operation for a very long time. It's called the Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council, right? For it to have been going on for a long time, and for them to even have found forged, for them to even have found this agency appearing in official government budgets, that shows some tricky things, some really, really tricky things, and it questions the system. in general, it does question the system. How did it get into the list in the first place? If President Tinubu is saying, I don't know anything about it, how did it get into the list? Who put it there? How did it happen? How did this go unnoticed for so long? That's what has happened this morning on the Punch newspaper. You can go see it there, can go read more about it there. But beyond pointing hands to the government, this is also a call for us to always verify things before we believe. It's not everything you see online that you believe. It's not everything you hear that you just take word for word. This is what we're talking about this afternoon on the big question. And I genuinely want to hear your thoughts on this matter. I genuinely want to hear what you think about what is going on. 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. You can also call 09155 917 917. 09155 917 917. All right, we have a call. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Oh, we lost our call again. The number is still 07000 917 917. When was the last time you verified a document? When was the last time you verified an agency? And this is also a sign that we as individuals, we do this a lot, because all of this MMM and the rest like that, we just trust them blindly, for the lack of better word. We just trust them that, oh, they say they are registered, they are this, that we don't even know if the registration is valid or if the registration is true or not. We just trust them, pump our money into it, and then we realize that it was fake. We need to know that a lot of things are fake nowadays, guys, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of things are fake. A lot of things are not true. A lot of things are not real, oh, because you see something on something, you see a stamp or you see a document, things can be easily fudged in this time that we are in this current day and time. And we need to be careful before you make that payment. Verify, check again before you do business with that person, with that organization. Don't be too carried away with the fact that, oh, the money is huge, it's a lot. Verify who you are doing business with, because they show you one PDF file of one registration that they have, it doesn't mean that they actually have it. A lot of businesses now, they forge INEC numbers unless, institutions go out to check, right? Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I love you. Bye bye.
Oh, okay. I didn't get that. Oh, but thank you so much for calling. I didn't get what he said. All right. The number is still 07000 917 917. All right. We have another call. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm calling from Good State. My own suggestion is that what I heard.
Oh, okay. We lost a call from Emmanuel. Again, thank you so much for calling, Emmanuel. But the bottom line of this conversation is that let us learn to verify our informations, our documents, our before you do business with anyone, check if this is the right thing to do. Before you listen to anyone, check if they say they are who they are. Because somebody calls themselves a professor, a doctor, doesn't mean they're actually a doctor. Oh. Before you see doctor on somebody, because you see doctor so and so on somebody's bio, or you see pharmacist this and this, they might not be true, they might not be real. Always learn to verify things before you believe them, before you take them as they are. It's important for your safety, for our safety, as you do your business, as you go about your week, as you go about your daily life, your activities around. Always verify. And don't be too quick to share informations online. Because you see somebody send something to a WhatsApp platform, it doesn't mean you should share it if you do not verify. whether something is true or not. Do not share fake rumors. Do not share fake information. That will be all this afternoon on the big question. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you learned something this afternoon. This was such an awesome conversation. I hope you learned something. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to join me next week, Friday, actually, on Friday, this Friday by 12:05 p.m. on WFM 91.7. Till then, my name is Fifolua Kirami. And